It is the 1st of December, so happy December, everybody. Usually I'd say it's a little bit early for me to wear a festive jumper, but I've decided, because we're doing such a lovely Christmas make this morning, I've donned my festive sweater with snowflakes on. So how are you all? Did you get any advent calendars this morning? I'll be honest, even though I'm a grown woman, my mum still gets me one. So I haven't eaten it this morning, I forgot. But if you've had any, you don't always get chocolate ones, do you? Sometimes people get, I don't know, maybe a crystal calendar or maybe a beauty one or something. So hopefully you've all had a very lovely morning. Is my sound okay? Is the film okay? Can you see me all right? It is very damp and dreary out this morning. So the curtains are wide open, but there's not much daylight coming through. So hope you're all okay. Good morning to Edward. He says, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all okay. Good morning to Lisa and Jackie. Good morning to Lucy and Angela. Good morning to Jitty. Good morning to Helen. And good morning to Camille. She says, good morning, Natalie and all the beading family. Nice blue skies again. And lucky you, it's been so windy. I went to the theatre on Friday last week, and the wind was really picking up. There was trampolines flying across the sky. There was signposts bending and traffic lights wobbling. So yeah, the wind's been pretty bad this weekend, but so far we've all been safe and wrapped up and warm indoors. Good morning to Sarah. Good morning to Yogi. She says, or they say, good morning, Natalie and all beaders. From Dorothy in rainy Glasgow. Good morning to you. Good morning to Kim. Good morning to Debbie. Lucy says, I look rather cosy in the jumper. Just put the heating on because I thought I might melt if I'm sitting in my festive knits. But no, I'm okay at the moment. My hands still need to warm up a little bit though. Good morning to Rachel. Good morning to Maxine. Right, so I will show you what we're doing today. We are making these really sweet Christmas earrings. Look at them little Christmas trees. Really straightforward to do. And they're lovely. I will be putting them in, but I thought I'd keep them here. It's easier for me to show you them like this than it is for me to put them down on the mat because they hang really nicely and they look a lot more Christmas tree shaped than when they're flat on the mat. So this is what their finished product is going to look like today. Good morning to Carol. She says it's a nice day, but cool wind in Brixham. It's just raining off and on here. Good morning to all of you, really. Lucy says, how cute are these earrings? They're lovely. Shall we get straight onto the website and I will show you the kit then today. So if you go on, you know the usual drill. Let me just share this for you. I think I'm already in the video tutorial link. So you come on to totallybeads.co.uk and you'll see we've still got the offer on for 12 days of Christmas. It's not too late to get that, which is 50% off. If you can go into the video tutorials link this way, or you can scroll down, it's entirely up to you. You'll see today is the Christmas earrings. So inside your kit, it should be $12.99 and we've got the lovely offer on for you today for $8.99. Now this is going to make you 3 pairs, so that's what, about just less than £3 a pair of earrings. And in there you're going to get everything you need to make these. So you're going to get 6 of your Hematite Stars because you're going to want one for each of your earrings. You've got a 10-gram bag of your FGB Bugle Beads. You've got your ear wires, which are gold plated, which will match your stars lovely. You've also got a 5-gram bag of your FGB seed beads in size 12. And you've got your head pins, which are your ball pins today. And they're lovely. I'll show you the little difference between that and what you'd usually use is kind of like a nail kind of flat version. You're also going to get your 3mm glass pearl beads and you're going to get 2 colours of them. So you can get a ruby red or a caramel colour and you're getting your jump rings too. So they're really straightforward to do and I think they're just very, very sweet. Good morning to Mina, good morning to Anne, good morning to Angela, Elaine, Debbie. Lucy's kindly shared the link there for you as well. So if you want, you can just click on that and that will take you over to the website. So $8.99 today, and it's going to make you 3 pairs of earrings. So let's get down on the mat and let's get going. So you're going to get everything you need in your kit. You're going to get your bugle beads and your little seed beads, your jump rings, your ear wires, 2 gorgeous little pearls in the red and the kind of goldy caramel colour, your little stars, which are really, really sweet. Look at the size of them. I tell you what might help. Ta-da! A little bit of light, that'd be better, wouldn't it? You're also going to get your jump rings, and you're getting your head pins, but your ball pins. So the difference with these is they have, can you see, a tiny little ball on the end of them, rather than having that kind of flat nail type. And that just means that it just gives, I think, a really nice finish to your earring. See how it changes shape as we lie it down. But you can see they just look like, I don't know, little baubles or little fairy lights. Oh, thank you so much for the stars, Mary. That's really kind of you. Good morning, Isla. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So it's entirely up to you how you want to start. I tend to kind of batch make a lot of my charms first. So I'm going to pour out some of my ball pins, and I'm going to start adding on my lovely beads. Now you can choose whichever way you want to do them. You might want to add, you might just want to do all gold or all red. I like doing a little mix, and I don't pay much attention to how I'm putting them on in terms of order. So I'm going to slide on my little glass pearl. Lucy says, I bet Armin snapped this up already. Could you add square beads at the end to look like prezzies, Angela? That's a really good idea. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, I think. And they just hang underneath. Try it and let me see. Share it in the group. Okay, then I'm just popping on one of my longer bugle beads here. And then finishing it off with a little green seed bead. I might scatter some of these on my mat rather than have them in the bags rustling. So it's going to look like this. Oh, good morning to Jeanette from Phoenix, Arizona. How lovely. What time is it there? Okay, so then to make these into my little charms, which are going to look like the branches of our Christmas tree. And these are what I think represent the little baubles. I'm just going to put a little bend in my head pin or in my ball pin at about 90 degrees. And then I'm going to chop off with my cutters probably about 1 centimetre. And then using my round nose pliers, I'm going to make sure there's none of that sticking out of the end. Can you see? So I'm going to have that nice and flush. And then I'm just going to start turning that up to sit on top of itself. To make that little loop. It's early. It's 3:10 in the morning. Wow, thank you for joining us and staying up. I don't know, is that so late or is that so early? Have you been to bed yet? Okay, and we're just going to keep repeating that. So pearl on. I am going to pour a few of these out. Pop them out the way for now. And we're just going to keep adding these until we get as many as we want. Now, it's entirely up to you how full you want to make your tree. I tend to, obviously we're going to put them together in layers. So I tend to make 8 charms for the bottom, and then I might do 6 above that, and then 4, and then 4 again at the top. So it's quite a nice project to just sit and batch make these. Now, if you want to, you can use a looper. I quite like doing this as a little job, to be honest. So I tend to just use my round nose, and I can make sure that I'm getting that fully turned and fully closed. You could, I suppose, if you wanted to do wrap loops as well with them. But I think by using my round nose, I can just ensure that that's fully closed and looking nice and neat. You don't have to worry too much about making sure that your loops are all the right sizes. But what we're doing is by putting that bend in to about 90 degrees, if we're cutting around the same point, if you want to, you can always take one of your offcuts and lay that against your next one so you know exactly where you're cutting. But I tend to find that if I'm cutting around, just use my eye really rather than measuring it, and the same point on my round nose pliers, I tend to use towards the end so it's nice and small. Obviously they're tapered, so they're larger at the top and smaller at the bottom. You could use a bail step plier if you wanted to make sure that they're all exactly the same. But if you're using the same point on your pliers, as you turn this, they're going to be roughly around the same size. And by putting that little bend in first, we're ensuring that little loop just sits nicely on top of that last seed bead. Sue says, good morning all. Started overcast and damp here in Staines, but it's now bright and sunny, but the temperature has dropped a tad since I've been up and dressed. It doesn't feel as cold here as it has done, to be honest, the last few days. So hopefully, I don't know, we got snow. Did anybody else get snow? I know lots of places in the country did. I mean, we didn't get lots of it. It stuck a little bit, which was very exciting. Lucy says, the sun's shining in Milton Keynes. I think I might go out for a walk after this live. That sounds nice. I've got lots of making to do today. So I don't think I'm going to get out and about. Jeanette says, these are very festive and lovely. They are. They're just something to get us in the festive spirit. It doesn't matter which way you turn your pins. I tend to turn them towards me, but everybody has their own preference. Just going to make sure that's fully closed. And if you want to, you can straighten them back up again. It'd help if I was doing that under the camera, wouldn't it? So I've got the Christmas decorations out of the loft, but I haven't really put any up yet. I've put like a garland in my front window, and I've hung up a few candy canes. But I've got it all to do. We haven't got the tree yet, so that's quite exciting. Looking forward to doing that. I think I'll be doing that at some point this week. So I'm just giving it a little bend. You could use them as arms and legs for an elf, says Angela. That's a cute idea, yeah. Or a little nutcracker. But then I suppose these are very much elf colours. Does anybody have an elf on a shelf? Or an equivalent? we don't really start any like Christmas traditions like that just yet. As I say, I think in our house we'll start feeling a lot more festive once we've got the tree and the decorations up. Still got lots of Christmas shopping to do. I've got a few bits and bobs. I have made advent calendars for a few people. Still haven't dropped my sister's off, so she hasn't been able to open hers this morning. But I like to include just some of the little bits and bobs that I've been making, really. And then she gets something nice to open each day. What I would suggest you do is keep these little offcuts, because you can use them to make eye pins with. And I'm going to make a double eye pin to connect my star at the end. So I'll only need 2 of these for this project, but I tend to put them in a little bag. Waste not, want not. And then I will find there's all sorts that I can be doing with them. You only need a little bit. And this gauge of ball pin is really quite nice and soft to work with. So as I say, you could probably do wrap loops with them as well if you wanted to just make them that extra secure. But I think for little festive earrings, it's nice to just have a fairly quick project. So I'm just keeping that little seed bead down with my thumb, because it's trying to slip up a little bit over that bend. And then as I turn that in, I should give myself a perfect loop. Here comes the sunshine. Okay, I'm going to draw my curtain. Please bear with me. I do apologise. I don't know. It goes from being dull and dark to bright and sunny. Is that better now? I've drawn my curtains. I think it is, isn't it? So there's not many beads at all needed in this, but it gives a nice, quick, simple look. As I say, it's entirely up to you how many you want to add onto each layer of your Christmas tree. You can make full and fat ones. As long as it's tapered in the sense that it's fuller at the bottom and it kind of graduates to less towards the top, and then that will give you that little kind of tree shape. Turning them in and just make a little pile of them. So again, another nice project you can do while you're sitting watching the telly, or maybe watching somebody else wrap the Christmas presents. Oh, Michelle says, lovely design, Natalie. And Debbie loves my jumper. Thanks, Debbie. I've got a couple of festive jumpers, so you may see me wearing them in the lives over the next couple of weeks. So I don't think I've ever worn a Christmas jumper this early on in December, but as we were making lovely little festive earrings today, I figured, why not? Let's get into the spirit of it. Angela says, my 95-year-old gent is listening to Christmas music on his PC. Lovely to get into the Christmas mood. How lovely. I've heard a couple of festive songs already on the radio. In fact, I'd gone shopping I think it was like the beginning of November, and if not earlier, and there was Christmas songs playing, and I said to the girl in the shop, you're going to go stir crazy by the time we get to to Christmas? Are these just on a loop? She just nodded. So she was enjoying herself and singing away. But she's probably maybe a little bit fed up by the time she gets to Christmas listening to it. But I don't know. I don't know what my favourite Christmas song is. I love Carol of the Bells. I won't sing it for you, but I do love that. I need to turn that loop a little bit better on that one. I think I've cut it a little bit too short. So I'm just going to keep getting out my ball pins. Don't worry if they've got a little bit of a bend in them, like some of them have, because as I say, they're really nice and soft. They're shapen, but it's really easy just to run that through your fingers, just to straighten it up again. Good morning, Kitti. She says, we can't go crazy with Christmas songs. Well, depends if I'm singing it to you. I don't think I'm allowed. I don't think copyright will. So thank God for copyright, because it's been a long time since I've sung in the choir. Everyone's saying good morning to each other. Kitty's breakfast. What are you having, Kitti? I've only had a coffee so far. What are you making me? Good morning, Lorna. Hope you're okay. Okay, so I'm just repeating this process over and over again. Lovely little pearl, whichever colour you fancy. Pop it on your bead, which is going to give you a branch of a Christmas tree look. And your little green seed bead at the top. Bend it over. Give it a trim. Take your round nose. Now for me, I always turn it up like this to get that little bend in it. And then I turn it the other way round, or my hand the other way round, and just curl that in for a little loop. Kitti says she hasn't got it down from the loft yet. Is that your Christmas tree, Kitti? I mean, I always try my very best to label all the boxes, but obviously each year I tend to get more and more decorations. So more and more boxes come out. So I had my husband up the ladder. And he's saying, is this it? I'm like, I don't think so. He's like, what about this? Is this one? I'm like, yeah, is that everything? Like, I don't know. I'll know when I start putting it out. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm missing the blah, blah. But I do love this time of year. I'm going with my son. I think it might be next week. I'll have to double check. We're going to go with his nursery to see Father Christmas. So he's very excited about that. Hopefully he'll be good and he'll be, willing to engage with him. I think sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, let's start putting these together. Debbie says, my husband had a tantrum every year when I send him up to the loft. And Mina has got a sore arm from a booster vaccine yesterday. I hope it went well, Mina. At least this is quite an easy project you can do if you've got a sore arm, because you don't really have to do much, just a little bit of wrist turning. My parents had their booster yesterday as well. And my mum said she also had a bit of a sore arm. haven't had my booster yet. Still got a little while to wait. Can't pick that up. So I'm just going to give it a little bend, little trim, keep my little offcut, because they always come in handy at some point, and they will do, as I say, when we make our connectors for our stars. And then turn that in, so you've got your perfect little loop at the top. Sue says, sorry I'm a little bit late. Just ordered my 12 Days of Christmas bundle. How exciting, Sue. Oh, you're going to really enjoy it, I'm sure. Carol of the Bells is one of my favourite too, but I never knew what it was called. Did you just have a little search engine check? It's actually on, I think it's on Home Alone, Lost in New York one, the film, which is probably one of my favourite Christmas films as well, to be honest. It's quite traditional, though I also like, is it Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree? Always gets me dancing and bopping away. I like to listen to my Christmas music when I'm wrapping my presents. Or rather, helping Father Christmas. Oh, Victoria says, I'm a bit puzzled. There isn't a sewing project. Why is the needle and thread offered on the website? I didn't know it was. You won't need a needle and thread for this one at all. You literally, all you're going to need is some wire cutters, a pair of round nose, maybe some needle nose or flat nose just to give it a little bend. Or maybe you would like to make, I don't know, a little stitched bracelet or something to go with it. Maybe add one of the Christmas trees as a charm or something. I'm not too sure, Victoria. Lucy had her back on Monday, bless her. She was poorly yesterday. Hope she's okay, Kitti. Oh, I've got lots of comments to catch up on here. Mina says, I've put small Christmas studs on cards today for the fair this weekend. Good luck with that, Mina. Hope it goes well. Sue says, I remembered yesterday that I've got a new Joseph or original one went AWOL a few years ago for our crib hidden under the spare bed. Do you know, you've just reminded me. Mum had a nativity. I've got one, like a little wooden one, which I got it from Cologne a couple of Christmases ago when I went to the Christmas markets. And I thought, I'll get that little wooden one because then Frank can play with it. Whereas my mum had one. It looked like brass, but I think it was like plaster of Paris or something. And Joseph would always, he'd lose his head. Literally, his head would fall off. So my job each year that I liked to do when I was little was to stick on any heads that may have fallen off, and then get the straw out that we had for our pet rabbit and lay it all on a tray and then set out the nativity. So thank you for reminding me of that, Sue, because I'm now going to check that the nativity is in one of the many boxes that we've brought down. Warning, some people I know have had swelling under the arm from the booster, says Diane. Angela's also had a booster. She had a sore arm, but she's okay now. Kitty's asking, Victoria, where did you see it was going to be a sewing project? I think, Kitty, is it just advertised underneath the product list if you wanted to add a needle and thread? It might be just a little reminder. You make loops so small and straight, says Jeanette. You know, it's just practice and repeat. And because I'm using, as I say, towards the end of my round nose, they don't always go right. I made one then that before that I think I've cut too short, so it didn't go as perfect as I needed to. But the thing is, you're going to get so many. Like, I've made a pair already with these. You're going to get plenty. You're going to get more than enough to make 3 pairs of earrings. So if the odd one goes a little bit not perfect, then you don't have to use it. But you're not going to see them when they're hanging on your earring as a Christmas tree. So it really doesn't matter if they're not perfectly uniform and the same, providing that your loop is closed and isn't going to fall off the jump ring. The proof's in the pudding, isn't it? Now we'll see how well this goes. Okay, so I've just made a little pile. I've also made a few earlier as well to speed us up, and I will show you how to put these together now. Angela says, I love the old Christmas hymns and singing to them. Just makes you feel jolly, doesn't it? Sue says, I've got a knitted one. A knitted nativity. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? A knitted nativity. How lovely. Right, okay. So to start putting these together, let's move these little bits out the way. There's a rogue one there. Why are you rogue? You can come. Okay, so I'm just going to pour out some of my jump rings. Now, these are 4 by 0.7. So they're very small and very cute. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to open a couple of them up ready. So I'm holding it with one side of my plier just to pick it up. Probably do with my other pliers because these are so small. Where have I put my other ones? I tell you what, let's use these ones. And then I've got a bit more of a pincer to open them. So I'm just going to open up a couple ready. I'm going to leave some closed, some open, and this will mean I don't have to keep picking them up and putting them down as much. I don't want to jinx it, but there's a good chance I'll drop it anyway. So you've got a little hole or split rather at the top of your jump ring. We're just going to turn that either towards or away from us. I'm not opening it up like this because I don't want to weaken that shape. So I'm just going to do it like that. It's easier to show you with my fingers sometimes what I mean. Sorry, I'm late from Gwen. That's okay, Gwen. You're here now. That's the main thing. You can always catch up. It's quite an easy make. Oh dear, Ruth, I hope you're feeling okay. Yeah, as Kitti says, you can also use your one-step looper. I prefer not to with this, just because I just make sure that my loops are closed nice and fully. If I tend to use the looper, I always go back and double check them anyway. So it doesn't speed me up too much. Patricia says, oh my, nice surprise. I've made the live on YouTube a bit late to the party. 5:30 in the morning in New York. Well, welcome to you, Patricia. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of my open jump rings. I might open that just a little bit more. And I'm going to add on some of my little charms. Now I'm going to try and put 8 on this. We'll see how we can fit them in. Can you focus? So that's 3. And I'm not minding which ones I pick up. I'm not picking them up in any particular colour. So we've got 4 there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the other side, if I can. I'm going to pop on one of my closed jump rings. And then I'm going to add on the others on the other side. So this is the bit where I say this is where I'm likely to drop it. I'm hoping I don't. We're trying to hold it under the camera. How many have I got on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we can squeeze another one in. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let me hold it there again. Got a little bit more space on this side. Pop those that have fallen off. And then I'm going to try and close this back up. So I'm bringing that jump ring, will you focus? Just past that point of meeting in the middle, and then it should spring nicely back closed together, like so. And then here I have that closed jump ring, and that is what I'm going to hold next. So I'm going to pop on another open jump ring through that closed one, and that's just going to give us that little bit of length. And then this time I'm going to try and pop on 6, I think. So I'm going to pop on 3 on one side. I'm going to take a closed jump ring. So having these open and some closed ready should mean I don't have to keep putting the work down. Should have checked that one's closed fully first. Can I squeeze that on? Tiny little jump rings. Let me just try and stop myself from wobbling. So I'm hooking the closed one on. Just going to do that with my fingers. And then I'm going to pick the others up on the other side. Again, I'm not worrying whether it's the one with the red bead on or the gold bead on. Will I be able to get my plier in there? No. Let's give them a little shake so I can move them up. So I've got my jump ring more central. Okay. I've lost count how many I've put on there, but hopefully that should do. It really doesn't matter how many you put on. What I would say though is try and count so your Christmas trees are roughly even and they match with them being earrings. And then I'm closing that up again. And then I'm going to get that closed jump ring. I'm just going to straighten that up ever so slightly because it is closed, but there you go. Now it's perfectly closed. And then I'm going to take another one of my open jump rings. I'm going to pop that on. I'm going to hold it with my pliers so it's hanging in the middle of that jump ring, so I've got a little bit of space to hold my pliers. This time I'm going to put 4 on. So I'm going to do 2 on one side. I'm going to swap hands. I'm going to put a closed jump ring on. And then I'm going to pick another 2 up on the other side. And then I'm going to, nearly. And then I'm going to close that up again. There you go. And then one more open jump ring through that closed one. So we've just given that some length as that's starting to come together. I'm going to add on another 2. Swap sides, close jump ring, going to get one which has got better loop on it, and then another 2 on the other side, and then close that up. So you can keep going with that. You can add more on. Should we do another 2 at the top? Make it a little bit fuller. Okay, so I'm going to get that last jump ring which is closed. I'm going to add another open jump ring. I'm going to put one on one side, pliers in the way, hold it on the other side, pop on a closed one, and then one on the other side, and close that back up. Now, you're not going to be able to see really from this angle the shape I've made, but it does look like a little Christmas tree. I'll show you it at the end. I'll put it on the big screen. Right, now I am going to make my star. So I'm going to get one of the pieces that I cut off before, and all I'm going to do is turn a little loop in the top. So I've made that P shape. I'm now just going to straighten that out and close that over. So we've created a little eye pin. Oh, Camille, that's a nice idea. She said this will make a lovely skirt for an angel too. Good morning, Karen. Hi, Seema. Can this focus? So all I've done is just made that into a little eye pin, but I'm going to make this as a double connector. So next I'm going to put on my star. Now the stars are gorgeous. They've got a little hole that runs all the way through them. So there's one which comes between 2 pointy ends and out the top of one of the pointy ends. And I think the stars should go this way round. So I'm going to pop my now eye pin through the bottom. So it comes out the top where the pointy star is. Oh, Brenda says, hi, Natalie. I usually watch on Catch Up. Lovely to see you live. Thank you for being with us this morning, Brenda. Okay, I'm going to keep my loop facing up. So it's not sitting on the side like this. It's going to be facing up like that. And I'm going to keep it that way while I pop a little bend in the top of that wire at 90 degrees. And then I'm going to give it a little trim. And I'm going to start to roll that back up again so it sits nice at the top of the star. And it should sit together on the same way as the bottom one. If it doesn't, just pop your pliers on the top and the bottom and give it a little twist. So it's going to look, give that a little bit more of a twist, like this. So your loops are going to be sitting the same way round. It doesn't matter because they're going to be able to turn. I just like them to face the same way if I can. And then I'm going to just add that on to my earring and that top little closed jump ring on the top of my Christmas tree. So I'm going to open it up like I would a normal jump ring. I'm going to do this way so that star sits with the pointy bit up. So I'm going to just open it up. I'm going to thread on my Christmas tree. And then close that little loop under the star back over. And then I can add my ear wire to this bit here. Now to open your ear wire, you've got this lovely little connector loop at the bottom. You can open it on top of your wire if you want, on top of the star, or you can just open this up gently. Now you don't want to put too much force on this. We're just going to give it a tiny little bend. Again, we're not opening it that way. We don't want to weaken that structure. We're just going to give it a little twist upwards. And then we can hook that onto our earring and close that back over. And there we have our little Christmas tree. As I say, if I lie it flat, you won't see the shape of it. So let me bring it up for you. Should we put them in? Obviously, you're just going to do exactly the same and repeat that process. So you've got 2 matching ones. Doesn't matter how many you put on each one. All I would say is kind of give it a little bit of a count. So if you know you've got 8 on the bottom one, on your first loop, then do the same on your next Christmas tree. And then they should be matching. Let me get this earring in. Come on, earring. There you go. Aren't they sweet? And they will dangle around the same length if you've made them similar. It's really easy. You don't have to worry too much about symmetry with this pattern. They'll just hang nicely. So these are what you're left with. Lucy says, really lovely earrings. I love them. So do I. I think I'm going to keep them in all day with the Christmas jumper. Lorna says, I love these, so effective, but I don't think I would manage the little jump rings consistently dropping them. Have dropped them a little bit. I think because they're so small, you could use larger jump rings if you wanted. They just give them this little delicate kind of look to them. You might just find having different pliers will, see, I open the jump rings up and have some closed so I don't have to keep putting them down. I can just keep picking up. You watch me then. I was using my fingers for a lot of it. My flat nose, I found were a little bit too wide. They covered too much of the jump ring when I was trying to hold it. So if you've got needle nose, that's probably your easiest solution. So pretty, says Lucy. I prefer the champagne gold findings, so not so bright like the gold plate. You can do these in any colour, providing you've got your ear wires and your ball pins and your jump rings are all the same. Then you could do them in any. I think gold is as Christmassy as it gets. They might look nice in silver. But obviously these are going to be matching, so your stars are going to match in lovely with your jump rings and those ball pins. But you can use whatever findings you like for this. Mina says she loves it. Thank you, Wendy. She says they look great. Sue says they look really pretty. I like that they have some movement. They are really light actually to wear. Can you hear them jingling? Not that you're going to walk around doing this unless you're like me, but they're really sweet. So yeah, Kitti says, remember that you're going to make 3 pairs from the kit. So you get to keep one, give one to a friend, and another one to put in a safe place. Yeah, you can put them in with your Christmas decorations, and then when you get them out, you know where they are. Yeah, you're going to get 3 pairs out of this. So for what, £8.99, they're like £3 a pair, which is an absolute bargain. And they don't take very long to make. Obviously, I was talking you through that step by step. You'll easily make these in both of them, I'd say, in under an hour, probably half an hour. Jeanette says, very pretty. Thank you for the demonstration. It was fun to watch. I'm going to make several for my girls. That's lovely to hear, Jeanette. I hope they like them. Another fab tutorial, Natalie. Being lovely, all these Christmas makes this year. We're just getting really festive, aren't we? You are most welcome, Maxine. Thank you for joining us. I think Brenda and Kitti are having a little chit chat about being on holiday, maybe. Lorna, you're most welcome. Elaine, you're most welcome. And Patricia says, would also be pretty done in simple silver with red and green decorations. Who was it before who said about putting little squares on the bottom of them as presents? If you make these or any variation on them, please share them in the Totally Handmade group and let us all have a little look. So would you like to see what I'm doing on Friday? Who wants a sneaky peek? Oh, Debbie, thank you so much. She says, thank you again, you're a star. Why, thank you. Great demo, says Michelle. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Right, Friday. So excited about these. I've put them on my bust, but I'm going to lay them down on the mat, just moving out little bits of Christmas decorations. Okay, on Friday, we are going to be making beautiful lava stone and gemstone jewellery. So there's going to be loads of different colour choices again, and we're going to be making lovely graduated necklaces. You could do bracelets and matching things with these as well if you want. All we're doing is just graduating the larger side. They're beautiful. So this is lava stone and it's plated in an array of colours. So there's loads of different things that you can do with them in terms of design. Lucy says, ooh, lava beads are gorgeous. I love lava beads. These ones are plated. Usually when you get them, they're a natural stone. They've got, you'll see like these little holes, not holes, but like little pits in them. So when they're unplated, they're really porous. So they're good if you want to add like essential oils and things to them. But these plated ones are just so gorgeous. How to make them even more beautiful? Well, I would be adding some gorgeous gemstones, which is what we're doing. There's crystals in there too, but look at them gemstones. So on Friday, please come and join me. As I say, there are so many designs that you can do and make with these. They're really simple, just strung on tiger tail, but using the different sizes to give that gorgeous graduated effect. I think this might be my favourite. This is with the tiger eye, and it's just stunning. Well, I say that's my favourite, and then there's the rose gold. So this is what we're doing on Friday at 10 a.m. I'll be there bright-eyed and bushy-tailed if you would like to come and join me. I'll be giddy because I'll be using gemstones. So hopefully you'll forgive me for being overly excited. Yeah, as Kitti has said, and Lucy, I echo this. You better get your 12 days now as it's very limited stock. There is a few left. You're getting an absolute bargain. I'm going to take you... Oh, yes, Camille, it matches my nail polish. My nail polish is awful today. My nails are splitting right in the middle. And they're these two that I tend to do an awful lot of like my wire work and stuff with. So I might do the tea bag trick on them later and see if I can fix them. Sue says, wow, I love this. Tiger eye is pretty. I can't choose. Dorothy, you got a little while. Yeah, on Friday morning, you can take your pick. What I'm going to do before I say goodbye to you is I'm going to quickly go on to the website again, and I'm going to show you the 12 days of Christmas. So it is limited stock. Let me get back to the main window. But it is 50% off, so £70. You're getting up to 40 items in this, but you're going to have a different project for the full 12 days, and there's all sorts in there. There's the embroidery brooches, wire cuff bracelets, there's rings, there's necklaces, there's all sorts, and there's everything from wire work to elasticated makes to stitch jewellery, all sorts in there, and it's just £70. But it is very, very limited stock. So if you want it, please go on the website and get it now so you're not disappointed. Yeah, agree, Lucy. Once it's gone, it's gone. Right, well, Margaret, you need to come and join me on Friday at 10 o'clock, and you can see how to make these beautiful, beautiful gemstone necklaces. So today was the earrings. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you like them. Do share your makes in the group. Let me see what you've done. Dorothy says, I didn't even look at the content. I just grabbed it. Dorothy, you won't be disappointed. There is something in there for everybody. Nice, easy beginner makes to something a little bit more intermediate, a little bit more complicated. But a lot of them will come with PDFs as well. There's also going to be that pre-recorded tutorial every day. So maybe it's the first time that you've, I don't know, done embroidery jewellery or made wire work. You'll be in safe hands. We'll talk you through step by step how to make them, and we'll be in the live chat as well, I'm sure, those days. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I will see you on Friday. Have a lovely week and happy December.